What up, cappers, gamblers, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Sunday, September 22nd to all of you. Thank you for watching NFL Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. I left Hawaii at 5 o'clock at night, and I knew I had to be here. I walked in this door 7 minutes ago. I landed at 9:58 a.m. Eastern in Toronto, blew through customs, and I'm ready to get paid with all of you. We have a monster show today. Bobano, Big Ragu, Marley Betts, Brizzy, Birdie, Wine Time, Mr. Sean Higgs, and making his NFL Pub Hub debut, Kong's Clips in the house. Great to see all of you guys. The Truth Teller, NJ Striker, GM3 says, here for Birdie. Old E making moves. There's Damon Santori, Tom Leach coming to us from the UK. Great to see you, Tom. Ken Wood, Slatsy making moves all across the board here. Carr over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Dobbins over 52.5 rush yards. Swift over 51.5 rush yards. Ken Wood, great to see all of you guys. My dude, ready to get to work. Saturated, Dust Hen, Steve G. What a great group. A Big Daddy Boom in the house. Harold Williams. It is great to see all of you guys, and we have a packed house joining us today. I am 1-0 on the week. I cashed the under on the Thursday nighter, and I cut my quantity of action down. I've just been hammering the board a little too heavy, I felt, the first 2 weeks. So I've only got 6 spots left. I'm comfortable with keeping it at that number. As you see my action here on the board, I have Chargers, Pitt Steelers under 38.5. I bet that on September 12th. That's down to 35. Titans minus 2.5. Eagles, New Orleans over 49. I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm a little nervous about that spot. Market not moving. San Francisco, LA Rams under 43.5. That market's gone against me to the 44. Falcons plus 3.5. That's a 3. Jaguars plus 5.5. That is a 5. Brothers and bets in the house. You know, the season has changed, but the names on the leaderboard seem to stay the same. We've had incredible performances thus far by a bunch of cappers. Birdie, 9-4 plus 12.05 units. What a monstrous start to the season. Spenny, second, 7-5 plus 3.5 units. Big Ragu, 4-1 plus 2.8 units. Marley of Brothers and Bets, 3-1 plus 1.8 units. Ramon plus 0.92 units. Dabby Cab plus 0.86 units. We have very impressive work done here by our squad. And we have a packed show today. So we're going to get right after it. Let's talk about the most important injuries very, very quickly. Justin Herbert, high ankle sprain, and Jordan Love. They said about 7 hours ago that he won't be starting, but he was trying to make a move to start. Joe Mixon out with an ankle injury. A.J. Brown out with a hamstring injury. 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel, tight end George Kittle, running back Christian McCaffrey are all out. And you guys know this. Rams wide receivers Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua are all out. Bengals T. Higgins is good to go and will make his season debut. And Cleveland Farrell is out for the Commanders. That is a weak pass rush. He's the only Commander with a sack this year. And he is not available. So that is it. Vincent Hawkins says, who gives a damn about a market? Go for what you know, Jimmy. I disagree, Vincent Hawkins, but we don't need to find the same route to get to an answer. If you don't care about the market, God bless you, and I hope you get paid in full. But yes, we do care very much about market analysis, and it's something that we do on the show. And if it doesn't interest you, you can go away. Let's bring on our first guest. He was our Season 2 champion, coming to us from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada's black and yellow. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Ian Cameron, to the show. Bobano, how are you?
Good to be with you. Hope the trip was good, and hopefully the Sunday will be even better.
Yes, it was wonderful. I'm here full of life and excited to rock with you, Bobano. Hitting leadoff. It is a perfect spot for us. Let's roll. You start with Chicago Bears at Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Keenan Allen with the heel. He is out. DeForest Buckner out. We know he's on IR for the Colts. That is about it that's going on here in this one. Let's start with this total. This total is at 43.5. It opened up at 42.5. It is juiced to the over. So we have a 1-point move to the over, and it is juiced to that over. On the spread, we have Oh my God. Sorry. Get this. Sorry, I've got week. My fault.
Welcome to the club.
Uh, sorry, I was staring at week 4 all last night. I did make some moves on the week 4.
Lots of windows open. Lots of screens. Yep.
-1 we have with the Colts right now. This opened up at -1.5 at Pinnacle. So we have a half-point move towards these Bears. Let's get to the cash flow then for this one. We have 56% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on the Bears. And on the total, 46% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on the under. Game 1 for you, Bobano. Take it away, Bears Colts.
If you go back and look at the Colts since the very beginning of the Shane Steichen era, start of last year, when they play at home, they've been over machines. It's been pretty crazy to see. I mean, they've been playing a lot of higher scoring games. Many of their games have gone over the total. And I think we're getting a discount here at 43.5 with this total. So I like over in this game for various reasons. We know Chicago's offensive line has been bad. It's had their struggles. It hasn't pass protected, and even worse, it hasn't run blocked. There's been no run game to speak of with DeAndre Swift at all. This is the day I think, look, the Bears can't get better O-line play today against this Colts team, which A, doesn't have much of a pass rush, B, doesn't stop the run very well. When is it going to happen? We just saw the Colts give up, 150 yards to Josh Jacobs and the Green Bay Packers, and what's alarming about that performance is that they knew Josh Jacobs is going to get the ball a ton because they're going to try to protect Malik Willis and try to make him comfortable with a solid run game. So the Colts knew the run game was coming from the Packers, and they still couldn't stop it, last week. So I think this is a chance for even that weaker O-line of the Bears to really step up, give Caleb Williams time down the field to throw the ball, pick on a secondary that can be picked on, and get the run game going with DeAndre Swift. I think the Bears' bottom line can move the football finally today. Game 3 now for Williams. Feels a little more comfortable indoors. I think they'll move the football. Chicago's defense has been their strength so far. They played even solid in the loss against Houston, but Indy at home puts up points. Look what they did in week 1 against Houston, 27 points in that loss. Go back to look last year. Usually they're good for at least 24 points at home. The Pittsburgh game last year. Every home game you look at the Colts last year, they're usually getting to the mid-20s as far as points scored. If Anthony Richardson doesn't become a turnover machine like he was last week, I do think the Colts at home indoors can put up points as well against this Chicago defense. So I like over 43.5. We'll lock that in. I know it was -110 when I bet it. I don't know. It might have moved a little bit, but right now it looks like we'll go with over 43.5. -1. Oh, there is still a -110 at points bet. So there you go. Bears Colts over 43.5.
You are locked in over 43.5 Bears Colts. Shout out to the Skunt Blaster with the $9.99 dono. His play of the day is Titans money line and Eagles team total under 24.5. That's a +190 for the Skunt Blaster. And shout out to Big O with a $4.99 dono. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support here. It means a ton to us. Saturated all over the Colts team total under 22.5. We roll on. Next up, a Bobano. We have Eagles Saints at the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. A.J. Brown still out with the hamstring injury, and cornerback C.J. Gardner-Johnson questionable here for the Eagles. And Taysom Hill, doubtful. Kalen Saunders, also defensive tackle, out for the Saints. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the New Orleans Saints -2.5. That's exactly where this opened. There was a time when that 2.5 got juiced, but it's right back. Now, of course, that's not the look ahead. If you want to talk about the look ahead lines, this is not, what Pinnacle delivers, but the look ahead had the Eagles -3. So you could say there's been a 5.5 point move if you want. But here at Pinnacle, they opened it up at 2.5, and it's just at 2.5. Let's get into the total here on this one. From a total side of things, we have a 49.5 juice to the under. I'm on the over. I was hoping that it'd be in the 50s, when we got here today. That is not the case. We get to the cash flow for this spot. We have 62% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the over. Makes me uncomfortable that the line isn't moving in that direction. 54% of the tickets and 57% cash on the Eagles. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I don't think the threes are out there anymore. I did grab a small +3 with Philadelphia. I've at some point this Saints, little magic they've got going on is going to end soon. And let's be real. I mean, Dallas and Carolina are not as good as Philly, right? I think that's pretty clear. But that's not the official play. The official play is something I mentioned. Actually, it was on our Monday night live stream at halftime. I said I had moved on this early, and I didn't even get what's out. I got a better number than what's out there right now, but I still like it at 49, and that's over in this game with the Eagles and the Saints. Over 49 minus 110 at bet 99. 47.5 is the number I got, and I bet it right after I watched that New Orleans-Dallas game last week, and I said, wow, this Saints offense, man, maybe they are legit. And you've got to give all kinds of credit here to Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak has done a really nice job. What I love is the different formations, he's really sort of running the ball. They're throwing it deep. They're really keeping opposing defenses off balance. It's creative play calling. I think that's really helped the New Orleans Saints. It also helps that finally, I think all their skill position weapons are healthy. The O-line's played well. Carr's avoiding mistakes, and Olave's been phenomenal. Kamara's been phenomenal, running and catching the ball out of the backfield. And look, this Philly defense is not that special, in my opinion. They couldn't get a stop against Atlanta when they needed it. I don't think they didn't play good on defense last year. And if you look at on the road where they finished the season 1-5 against the spread, that defense was horrible on the road down the stretch when they were collapsing last year. So I think they're going to be in tough here to stop this red hot surging Saints offense that's moving it and scoring points at will. I don't know if they're going to get into the 40s, but I think at home they can get 28-30. And I think the Eagles can move the football too, because I'm still not totally a believer in the Saints defense. This Eagles team still has weapons. I know Brown's still going to be out again, but still got enough weapons. My concern with this over, my one concern would be just this damn continual red zone problems that the Philadelphia offense keeps having. I hope they solve them today, because that's been a huge issue for them. I think today could be the day it happens, because if you actually look, the Eagles, in their first two games, they played Green Bay, they played Atlanta. I don't know if the New Orleans Saints defense is markedly all that better than those two teams. So I think the Eagles, hopefully, if they have some better red zone efficiency, I don't see this game staying under. So over 49 minus 110.
Well, I'm right with you on that one, Bobana. We roll on 4:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the Carolina Panthers 0-2, 0-1 on the road. Vegas Raiders 1-1 home opener at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Raiders have Diablo with a concussion and an oblique injury. Linebacker, he is out. Cornerback Richardson has a hamstring injury, doubtful. Max Crosby's been on the injury report all week, but he is going to be out there on the field today. Christian Wilkins also been dealing with a knee injury, but they expect him on the field here today. Let's get into the line history. Next spot here for Bobano is Panthers, Raiders. This totals at 40, minus 107 to the under. And this one opened up at 38. This got up to 41 as well. So we've come up 2 points from the opening line. Obviously, Bryce Young not at quarterback. The Red Rocket is there. Part of the reason maybe that this total has gone up is a belief in Andy Dalton over what we've seen from Bryce Young. When we get to the spread, we have a 5.5. That minus 5.5, you get an even money on the Raiders. This has come down from 7. We've seen the idea of sharp action on the Panthers now for a third consecutive week. We've seen the line move towards the Panthers for the third consecutive week, and they've been downright abysmal through 2 weeks. Now, maybe things change here with the Red Rocket at quarterback. Just 25% of the tickets and 30% of the cash on the Panthers, and it's come from 7. And 75% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over. Bobano, your next spot on the board, Panthers, Raiders.
I have a small bet on Carolina. That ain't the official play, though, in this game. It's another people think I only bet overs. No, I've just selected the games on this card that I do like points to be scored. I think we are getting a discount with an over in this game for various reasons. So over 39.5, minus 112 at ProLine Plus. Carolina, look, Andy Dalton being on the field doesn't impact Carolina's defense. This is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I think we can say that now. And look, I know New Orleans put up the big number against Dallas too, but that was last week against the Chargers. Chargers did whatever they wanted and moved the football every single drive against that Carolina defense last week. They can't stop the run. They're not good in the secondary. They don't cover well down the. They don't have a pass rush consistently. They missed the hell out of Brian Burns. I have no idea why they traded him away, but their pass rush is almost non-existent as well. I think even Gardner Minshew, and you'd think a lackluster quarterback here, and a Raiders offense that doesn't usually scare you, they can put up points in this game. That's how bad the Carolina defense is right now. And you still have Devontae Adams to throw to. Zamir White's going to pick this team apart on the ground. If you're a player prop guy, I'm going to put this on the card too. I don't think I could not put this on the card. I think it's too good of a spot from a player prop standpoint to bet it. Zamir White over rushing yards. I'm going to put that on. Over 57.5 rushing yards. Zamir White minus 112. This is a horrible run defense. Absolutely atrocious. Dobbins picked them apart last week. Kamara did a number on them again within the Saints game in week 1. Antonio Pierce is talking about wanting to run the football even more in this game today. And I think definitely Zamir White's going to just pick this run defense of the Carolina Panthers apart. So why do I like the over? Why do I trust Carolina to score? We know their offense has been abysmal because Andy Dalton might actually be an upgrade right now from Bryce Young. I'm not kidding. Bryce Young was that abysmal. Andy Dalton, okay, he's got his flaws, but he's a veteran. He's at least going to be able to come in there and hopefully stabilize things a little bit. More importantly, get the ball out of his hand. Bryce Young was keeping the ball in his hand way too much, taking sacks, taking unnecessary hits. A veteran guy like Dalton knows at least to get the ball out of his hand. And I think the Raiders' defense is very good, but they're coming back from the East Coast against Baltimore, a thrilling comeback, shocking comeback overtime win. Traveling back home, I think they might be a little gassed today, the Raiders defense. I think Carolina might be able to take advantage of it. And I'm not saying they're going to light up the Raiders, but they'll contribute some scoring, I think, to this game and to this over. And we're not asking for much. The total's 39.5. It's not a high total. So over 39.5 for me.
You got it. You are locked in. Ray Charles also on that over with you, as is. Oh, and Kent Davies on Dalton over 32.5 pass attempts. So there's looks there for our cappers in the chat. But Clark Edge play today is the Raiders minus 5.5. Lamont Williams in the house. Ray Charles says, I'm with you, Bobano. 39.5 is too low. We roll on to the next spot on the board for Bobano. 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Lions, Arizona Cardinals, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Melifonwu has been hurt all season long. The big worry, though, is Alex Anzalone. We expect him. Do we expect him at this point to come back from the concussion? I mean, we do. It's felt that we were moving in that direction all day. And this is a pretty healthy Cardinals squad. Dante Stills, defensive tackle, dealing with a shoulder injury. Kelvin Beachum, offensive tackle, with a hamstring injury. Greg Dortch, a hamstring injury. All this.
They're trending the right way, both Terry and Arnold and Alex Anzalone, apparently, for Detroit, by the way. Yeah.
And yeah, so with Terry and Arnold's sickness, we were hoping that he was going to. And then Graham Glasgow, was an important piece that also has just been dealing with a knee injury and is questionable. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have this sitting at a 3. The Arizona Cardinals +3 is juiced to minus 111. This did go down to 2.5. This was down to 2.5 for a long time. Most of the week, really, at 2.5. It opened up at 3. It's back at 3. Still 7 cents of movement towards the Arizona Cardinals. And when we get to the total in this one, when we're to 4:05 action, we have a 52 juice to the under, 51.5 at other books. This has moved 8 cents towards the under since it's opened, but still stuck at 52 here at Pinnacle. And we get to the cash flow for it. We have 55% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the over. And we have 42% of the tickets and 50% of the cash on the Lions. So the public is split on what side to be backing here. Who are you on, Bobano? Take it away.
I think it's a discount on Detroit now. I do. I mean, I like Arizona. I'm in the camp where a lot of people where I think they're a better team this year. They are, and they're going to be a thorn in people's side. They gave Buffalo a tough game in week 1. You saw what they did, albeit against a decimated Rams team. And that's the thing. I know that offense looked great last week against the Rams, but the offense is fine. Kyler Murray, Trey McBride at tight end, James Conner at running back, Marvin Harrison Jr. at his breakout game. That offense is great. I'm not sold on the defense yet. Okay, the defense couldn't stop Buffalo in the second half with the game on the line. And I know they totally shut down the Rams last week, but that's a Rams offense that was totally decimated by injuries. 3 O-line starters out. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua out. How can you evaluate that game and say you come out of it upgrading Arizona's defense? You can't. I mean, the Rams were that debilitated on offense by injuries in that game. So let's be careful about saying, wow, Arizona, what a great defensive effort that was last week. I like how Detroit's going to come in here focused. Dan Campbell took the heat off his players for the loss against Tampa Bay last week, saying it's on me. It's my fault. We got better. It's on me. We lost that game. I think that resonates today. Jared Goff had an uncharacteristically bad day. He was Jared off last week. Not Goff, Jared off, as in off, and not playing well. Missing receivers, stalling in the red zone. I think you get a better Jared Goff. This is indoors, too. We always talk about it. The Lions' offense works when they're indoors. It won't be a factor. I think they pick apart Arizona's defense. I think they win. I think the game goes over, too. I like the over as well. I probably like the Lions a little bit more than the over, but I'll go with both for official plays. We're going to lay a little bit of juice for the money line, Jimmy, instead of the -2.5, -3. So Detroit -152 money line, and we'll go with over 51 at Pinnacle. Let me just bring up the price in a sec.
Yeah, let's lock that over in. Also, Lions money line. Shout out to Kent Davies with the $5 dono. Thank you for supporting
over
us.
51 -114 at Pinnacle.
Over 51 at -114 for our guy Bobano. Vincent Hawkins, Detroit team total over for himself. Tom Leach leaning towards the Cards, but nut flush on Detroit team total over. And Spenny Pennybomb saying Detroit rolls here. There's Kong's clips in our chat. By the way, Salty Pete also on Detroit team total over. Shout out to Salty Pete. Rob Free saying a big discount on Detroit. And you have Jarek Wright and Ron Crawford also on the Lions. All right, we have to go quick here. We got 3 games left for Bobano. We have Ravens, Cowboys. This one is heated. I've heard legitimate angles as to why you should bet on either side here. These are 2 teams coming off of losses to angry squads. Let's take a look at the line history here. This one pops off at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. This total is at a 47. It did get up to 49. We're back at 47. It opened up at 47.5. So it's been a quite legit move up and then back. From a point spread scenario here, we have this sitting at -1 at -106. A lot of books are hanging pick'ems. This has not moved since it opened 7 days ago at this exact juice here. Ravens -1 at -106. When we get to the cash flow then for this one, we have, as you would expect, pretty tight action. 41% of the tickets and 51% of the cash on the Dallas Cowboys. And when we get to the total here, for this one, we have 64% of tickets, 68% of cash on the over. Bobano, take it away.
Baltimore -112 for me at Betano. Who am I trusting off a loss to adjust? McCarthy or Harbaugh? You got to be kidding me. That's an easy choice. I could end the analysis right there, seriously. But I'm not. The O-line's an issue for Dallas. The Baltimore defense has not had a pass rush. I'll be honest, that scares me here. The pass rush got to get home, but the Dallas O-line is suspect. It's a way down unit from where they've been in the past. And then you flip it around to the Dallas defense, and we just saw what Kamara did to them. What is that tandem of Lamar Jackson running the ball with RPOs and quarterback runs and Derrick Henry going to do to this defense here? Not to mention that'll open up things down the field in the passing game. I'm at the point now, and look, all of a sudden we couldn't bet against Dallas at home because that was where they played their best. Well, look at the last 2 home games. Disaster. Green Bay in the playoff game, New Orleans last week. All of a sudden, I'm not scared of that home field and betting against it. Baltimore's still the better team, even though they're 0-2. -112. They could have beat Kansas City. They should have beat Las Vegas. They win today. They get off the schneid. Harbaugh, by the way, 21-11 against the spread in his career off a loss.
We roll on with Bobano. He's got the Ravens locked in. Bobano is the only capper on today's show that's hammering Monday night action. He's got both of the games. We'll start with Jags, Buffaloes. As you guys know, I'm on the Jags +5.5. I could have paid some juice to get the 6, and I didn't. This was on Tuesday. I just took the 5.5. Of course, Terrell Bernard out with the pectoral injury. How much is that going to hurt them with Matt Milano already being out? And I think a lot. But I've heard from Bills fans that say they have depth in that position and they're going to be okay. And I can understand them feeling that way. Evan Ingram out for the Jags. Bigsby and Darnell Savage are questionable right now. Taron Johnson also out with a forearm injury, cornerback for the Bills. Let's get into the line history here. We have this spread at 5.5. So it's right where it was. You can get the Jags +5.5 at -109. Now, this did open up at 6.5. I was hoping that we'd have just 5s across the board. We've seen some books at 5, but it's now back to 5.5. And on the total, we are sitting here with a 45.5. This 45.5 is juiced to the over at -110. It's gone from 46.5 down to 45.5. And when we get to the cash flow, 60% of the tickets, 73% of cash on the over. And on the spread, we have 27% of the tickets and 43% of the cash on the Jaguars. Take it away, Bobano.
2 plays here. Jacksonville +6, -120. And to shock the world, under, that's right, under 46, -114 at Pinnacle. So I got Jags on the side, under the total. Primetime game, obviously. We know how good those have been. But let me start with the Jacksonville equation. Okay, 0-2, but they are a fumble by ETN at the goal line away from going up, what 24-7 at the time against Miami. They end up losing that game. The Cleveland game was bad. Okay, the offensive line was worked over by a very good Cleveland front. I don't think Buffalo's got that same front, and I think Buffalo, look, they amazing defensive effort with all the injuries. Credit to McDermott against Miami, the way they played. They've still got a shit ton of injuries on defense. At some point, that's going to show up, and especially when you're laying points like this, you have to win by a touchdown to cover the number. This is a Jacksonville team that beat Buffalo last year, by the way, over in London. I think this is a close game. I'm not remember Buffalo was life and death to beat Arizona at home in week 1 with that defense. I think this is a close game. I'm willing to take Jacksonville here +6 -1. What was that again? +6 -120. There we go.
Yeah.
And under 46 -114. Look, the offensive line's a problem. I don't think Jacksonville's moving the ball up and down the field, even against a banged-up Buffalo defense. But look at Buffalo's offense. It's Josh Allen, dink and dunk throws. It's James Cook running the ball. It's now time-consuming drives. This is now a very methodical, gradual, move the ball down the field offense. It's not a quick strike, light it up, play fast offense anymore. The Bills play under Josh Allen. They've got the run game going now. They really commit to running the ball, and I think that helps the under in this game. So Jags and under.
You are locked in here with that. Let's get into the final spot on the board here for you. Commanders, Bengals. We talked about Cleveland Farrell being out. He's the only commander with the sack this year. And on the other side, T. Higgins will have his season debut here finally for the Bengals. This total is a 46. It's -114 to the over. This got all the way up to 48.5. It's funny. I was very interested in the under, but I was nervous about it. I was nervous about it watching this Commanders defense. This is a 7 right now, a -115 for the Bengals. It opened up at 8, so we have had a 1-point move towards the Commanders. Take it away, Bobano.
Yeah, this is one where I'm on side and total, just like Monday. So I'm gonna be very invested tomorrow night when I'm on the Monday night stream in the 2 games. Washington, Cincy. Washington +7.5, -112 at ProLine Plus. And so I'm on Washington, and I'm on over in this game, which is 46 -114 at Pinnacle. Okay, Cincinnati, look, I get it. They're 0-2, desperate, angry, all that good stuff, right? They are not a let's lay more than a touchdown with team, in my opinion. They are not. They just aren't. I just do not trust them on either side of the football to be able to win a game by this kind of margin right now. And we even saw it going back to last year. So when I look at this situation here for Cincinnati, I also think their defense is a little overrated. The O-line's kind of been up and down. I think Washington with Jaden Daniels and company, Brian Robinson running the ball, they can move the football on this team. And plus the fact that Daniels has that escapability with his feet is going to help against that Cincinnati defense. And then the reason why I like the over, so I think Washington can keep this competitive when you look at this game and keep it a 1-score game. And I like the over because the one concern I have for Washington is that secondary. And Jamar Chase, this could be his coming out party. You could see the Bengals really picking on that secondary with Jamar Chase, getting him going. I do think Cincinnati does put up points, and I do think Washington will put up enough to get that game over the total. And again, these primetime games I know often stay under, but I just think the matchups dictate points here with this second Monday night game. So Commanders and over for this one.
And what was the juice on the 7.5?
-112.
-112. Locked and loaded. Over 46 and Washington +7.5 for the late game on Monday night. Jaguars +6 and the under 46 for the early one on Monday night will be live for those. It's going to be very enjoyable.
And Higgins being back too, Spencer. Yes, big for the Bengals receiving core. And
it does help enormously. Ravens -112, Lions -152, and the over 51 in Detroit, Arizona. Zamir White over 57.5 rush yards and the over 39.5 in Carolina, Las Vegas, over 49 in Philadelphia, New Orleans Saints, and over 43.5 in Bears, Colts. Our season 2 champion, Bobano. Thank you so much for hitting leadoff and rocking for us. The Ice Guys have previews out right now for all of the
every team. 32 teams in 32 days is what we're calling it. We're ready.
I love it. I love what you guys are doing over there, and I love what you do here with us and on Thursdays with us too on Betting with the Bag. Much love to you, Bobano. Please support our guy Bobano on X at Bobano Bets is the new Twitter handle. Bobano, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Good luck, Jimmy. Good luck, everyone in the chat. Cash some tickets. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow night for that Monday night twin bill.
There he is, a Bobano. We go from our season 2 champion to our season 1 champion, and he's gotten off to a spectacular start, 4-1 plus 2.8 units, and he's coming to us on location from somewhere beautiful. Please welcome the Big Ragu to the show. Doc, how are you?
What's going on? How's my shot? Is it good enough for the show?
It looks nice, but we need you need to be a little louder with the audio that we have here.
I got it.
Little louder with the audio. We can do some stuff here on our end to make you louder. Let's get right to work, Doc. 4-1 plus 2.8 units to start out the year. Very, very impressive. You start with Chargers, Steelers, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I bet this 10 days ago. I bet this on September 12th, the under 38.5. Now it's at 35. Herbert dealing with the high ankle sprain. The last thing anybody wants to see out there is Easton Stick. I mean, how horrible did he look last season? 0-4 as a starting quarterback last season. And for the Steelers, Fotanu is hurt. He got hurt on Friday. It was a big loss, losing that offensive tackle. Now, and Roman Wilson making his NFL debut finally off of the ankle injury that he suffered in the preseason. So it'll be nice to see him out there. Let's get into this line history here for you, Doc. This spread is at 2.5. Oh, sorry, that's not Pinnacle. Let me move over to Pinnacle. Pinnacle has this. It's a 3 right now. Oh, it's back to 2.5. Okay, it's back to 2.5. Wasn't a legit 3. The 3 was plus 104 for the Steelers. Minus 2.5 and minus 112. So we've had 3 cents of movement towards the Steelers. And on the total here, we have a 35 minus 115 to the under. This did get down to 34.5. That was the low point. Take it away, Doc.
Yeah, so we know the story with Herbert. Both of these teams are playing to unders. Both teams are 2-0 to the under to start the season. And
Doc, can we get there's something in the background there, like a TV in the background. Can we get that off?
I think I got the ocean behind me, so it's going to be hard for me to shut it off.
Okay, no worries. No worries.
But you can mute me when you're talking.
Okay, no, that sounds great. You moving the mic to you. That's perfect. Okay, let's roll.
So basically, we got 2 teams that playing to the unders here, 2-0 to the unders. The big story is Herbert, with his availability. And Fields, he's going to be more of a game manager here. We got 2 teams that are top 1 and 2 in the line rushing defenses. So we're basically going to have 2 teams that are going to have to look to other means to kind of push the ball into the end zone here. So I'm not saying that they're going to decommit for the run, because I think both teams are going to commit to the run first, obviously. And all that Pittsburgh does is, they kind of game manage with Fields. I think they present a little bit of a problem, the defense for Fields, trying to let him get downfield. But like I say, run defense is going to be here, and I think both teams are going to want to establish the run. So I tweeted this out yesterday. I got 35.5 to the under. If you give me 35, that's fine too. But I put out a tweet yesterday. That's the only game I tweeted out was this game here. So I like the under here. It's a tight under spot.
If you tweeted it out, it's legit. Did you get minus 110 on that?
110, yes, sir.
Minus 110. Shout out to our guy, my dude, just a monster dono in our chat. $50. Hit an 8-leg parlay yesterday. Says, thank you, Tailgate Kong's Clip. Says, love this community. We are family. Let's leche today, my dudes. My dude, thank you for thinking of us. That is monstrous. And we love you. And I'm so glad you got that cash with the Tailgate squad. Thank you for the dono. Under 35.5 for Big Ragu. Next up, Eagles Saints. And we already set it up, Doc. So take it away, my man. What's your plan?
Yeah. So we got the optics here are, a high-powered New Orleans team, which, they've been lighting up the scoreboard, and Philadelphia, which has played two, real close games, and they come away with one win and come away with a loss. So basically, they could be easily 2-0 also. So, I mean, we get two teams that, like I say, their numbers are very similar. If you break down their numbers offensively and defensively, they're very, very similar. But the bigger plays is really what's putting New Orleans over the top on their high scores. And Philadelphia, though, they were a catch away from, winning their game the other night, which I thought was a great play call, but that's besides the point. So are they going to get redemption here against a pretty good New Orleans defense, but they haven't been tested yet. So I think this game goes to the under too. I know it's valued high because of the optics on New Orleans with the big play, but I know Philadelphia is vulnerable to the pass, but I think they kind of keep things under wraps here. They don't let – I know Carr's spectacular when they got a great offensive line. They give him time to throw the ball downfield. But I think we'll see a focus on Barkley here. I'd be interested in some Barkley props, but I still think the number's too high. The optics are here for a big. I'm going to fade the public here. I like the under here. We got two top three rushing offenses too, so I think we see ground and pound early, and then maybe we get it. I don't know on the side. I can't pick the side here, but I love the under here. I think it's overvalued. The total's overvalued the over is overvalued. So put me on the under.
Under 49.5 at -109. I'm very concerned about my action here on the other side. And Bobano with me on that over as well. I really wanted to see this market move into the low 50s so I could have a ton of confidence. It's not done that. With the public on the over, I'm very uncomfortable with it. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board for you, Doc. Panthers, Raiders, another game that we've already set up. So why don't we take it away? What's your plan?
Yeah, so here we go again. The Raiders, like Ian mentioned, spectacular win. Gritty win on the road. They come back home and played the Death Star against a team that's kind of, been the laughing stock of the league right now, and they're searching for answers offensively, obviously. The Panthers are. And, their offense puts their defense in a bad way. Is the Red Rocket going to, move forward with this offense? I say no. I say he'll probably, be an improvement for sure with the offense schemes that they're going to run for him. But the Raiders are still playing pretty decent. Their defense to start the league was one of my top-rated defense overall in the league. I know Crosby's a little nicked up here, but still, I think, as Ian said, I think they could be scored upon here. I think that, Minshew's doing a good job with that offense. And the only thing I'm really interested in here, now we're asking them to be a big favorite at home, where the other games, they were kind of catching some points here and there. Now you're laying more basically a touchdown at home versus Carolina. Anytime you get bigger than a touchdown or close to a touchdown in the NFL, I don't care how bad the teams are. There's always that back door that's available here. But for me, I think the team totals to play on the Raiders here. I'm looking at a 22.5. So I think, they'll be scored upon, and I'm not going to mess with the number on the side or the total, but I think the team total on the Raiders is live here. 22.5, you need 3 scores and a field goal, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, which I think is very doable for them. So 24 points, I think they get 24-27 in this game. So put you on the team total over 22.5.
Raiders team total over 22.5. I'm going to do some line shopping for you on that one. While I'm doing that, talk to us about Lions, Cardinals. It's a spot that Bobano broke down. Bobano on the Lions money line in the over 51. What is your plan for this?
Yeah, here's another team with optics. With Arizona, 2 huge games. The big win at Buffalo, and the big effort in Buffalo, I should say. They were able to put points on the board there, and then beating up the decimated Rams team. And the Lions, Tampa Bay, give them credit. They're a pretty good squad. They went up there and handled business against a real good Lions team. And basically, they're probably got 2 of the best lines in football, Detroit does. And I don't think Arizona's been tested yet. And, they're laying the 3 on the road here. I think that's a fair number. I think on NFL, your home dogs is something I usually support. But I think I'm not going to call Arizona posers here. I think they're going to be, like Ian said, a pesky team, going forward. But I think Detroit's much the best here. So for me, it's a buy-on spot. I think they get the offense. Their offense has been a little bit sluggish. And, we talked about St. Brown that night game we did. We didn't see him at all. I think they were kind of hiding him I think he might have had a little injury they weren't talking about. They didn't full disclosure because the next game he was hurt. So I think they were nursing him along a little bit. But I think today they kind of get the ship right on the offense. I think he gets involved. I think he has a pretty decent game. But I like Detroit on the road here, laying the 3.
We're going to get you that because we can also get you that at 2.5 right now as well. The Lions, if you want them right now, if you want Lions minus 2.5, it's expensive. It's minus 123, or do you want minus 3 at even money?
Yeah, I'll take the minus 3 at even.
Okay, minus 3 at even money there, and then I'm still going to get you the best number on the Raiders team total. Lions minus 3 at even money. And then we move into Chiefs Falcons. 2 healthy squad. I mean, obviously Pacheco gone, but for for the questionables and who's been practicing all week, it's two healthy squads. But of course, a big loss losing Isaiah Pacheco, who's looked like a monster this year. I moved on the Falcons at plus 3.5. Let's quickly go over market move because we haven't spoken about this one yet. This total is at 46.5, juiced to the under. 10 cents of movement towards the under. And on the spread, we are sitting here with a 3. This 3 is juiced to the Falcons. If you want the Chiefs minus 3, it's even money, which is pretty interesting. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 42% of the tickets and 57% of the cash on the Falcons. And on the total, we have 56% of tickets, 57% cash on the over. Take it away, Ragu, my guy.
Yeah, so we got to witness Atlanta make a great comeback and close that game, which Kirk Cousins, in prime time is usually not his better looks. Now he goes back-to-back in prime time spots, and this is the Sunday nighter, right? So I'll be on with you for this game tonight. Once I get done here, I'm driving home, then I'll get ready for tonight. But anyways, I'm a little scared of this game here as far as on back in Mahomes, even though they kind of escaped both of their games too. That's another team that could be 0-2, 1-1, 2-0. So they're lucky they're a toe and a last second play being 2-0 here. So that's how much parity is in this league right now. But Atlanta coming off of that big game, Kansas City coming off of their games. I'm kind of out of my comfort zone on this one as far as making a play on a prop. I'm not a big prop guy, but today I went back and did some research and I found some stuff I really liked on Mahomes. Like he's been spectacular in domes and he's shined in primetime games, So I'm going to focus on some Mahomes props here, and I got a sack prop I want to look at too. So I'm going to look at Mahomes, and this is pretty much standard across the board. I've checked all the books. They got his total set at 269.5 yards. I think he gets a 300-yard game today, so I'm going to lay Mahomes minus 110 on 269.5. And then there's a completion in attempts. I'm going to go with the attempts here. 36.5 minus 102 at FanDuel on Mahomes. And here's one that he's thrown an interception in every game. And I think Cousins has got 1 pick so far. Mahomes has got 3, I believe. So I'm going to say tonight he doesn't throw a pick. He's 0 interceptions, plus 110, under a half. Under a half.
Under
plus
a half.
110. Yeah. And then I'm going to look for Cousins. I'm going to look for Spags to deal up some packages to kind of put some pressure on Cousins tonight. And I think our guy Chris Jones gets a sack. He's plus 115 on over half a sack at FanDuel.
Wow, hammering this game hard.
Yeah, I'm not a prop guy, but today, you know what? It make it fun to watch a game tonight too. Plus,
that was plus 115 on
Chris Jones. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
You got it. Over a half sack. Under a half interception for Mahomes at plus 110. Over 36.5 pass attempts minus 102. Mahomes over 269.5 passing yards at minus 110 as well. Ragu, I'm only finding 23s on the Raiders team total right now.
Okay, go with it.
Okay,
that's okay. 24 to 27, so 23 is good.
Well, the 23.5 is at plus 105 at least.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Oh, 23.5 at plus 105. Okay, and then Ragu, you like to finish off these shows with a teaser. What is your
Man,
teaser?
I lost my first teaser. I'm a little pissed off about that. Can't lie to you, but I think I got a solid one here, guys. Got a solid one. Everybody's in love with Minnesota today, right? That's the sharp side. That's the side. I kind of question either or on that game, but Minnesota, I got to give them credit. They're playing good football. Even with Justin Jefferson gone, I think they're still in plus territory. But I got to lean their way. Getting points, in that scenario. You're talking about adding to the low number. Pushing it above a touchdown. I think that's a one-score game, regardless, however it winds up. And there's no way in the world. I'm being careful when I say this. Tampa Bay's been spectacular at home. You're going to talk about Knicks coming into Raymond James and stealing the game from the Bucks. I know the number's a little tall. I'm not crazy about laying that number with the Bucks, but I think at home they get the W, maybe 3-4 point win, something like that. They'll play tough. Bowles will scheme to shut Knicks down. It's not going to do a whole lot. It'll be a lower scoring game, I believe. But give me the Bucks at home and give me Minnesota at home in the teaser.
You got it. You got it. So let's give you both of the Vikings and the Bucks. Shout out to Brent Vini gifting Pub Sports Radio memberships. Love to see it, Brent. Thank you so much for your support. Everybody out there supporting so much. It means a ton to us. So let's give these numbers here for the Bucks and so the Bucks, it's at 6 right now. So it's just taking it down to a money line.
Yeah, pick them.
And then for the Vikes, here they're a plus 1.5, so we would be getting a plus 7.5.
There you go.
Plus 7.5. Plus 7.5 for the Vikings. Bucks at a pick'em. Mahomes 3 prop bets for Ragu. He'll be live with us tonight on the stream. And Jones with the over a half sack. Then we have the Lions -3 at plus 100. Raiders team total over 23.5 at plus 105. The under 49.5 in Philadelphia, New Orleans, and the under 35.5 in Chargers, Steelers. Ragu, thank you so much for making time for us, my man. Safe travels back to your home. And can't wait to hang with you tonight, my guy.
Right.
Please support Ragu on X at Big Ragu62. Doc, you're the man. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Let's get him, guys. Let's get him big today.
There he is, the Big Ragu, starting the year very strong. It was no surprise that our next guest started the year very strong once again. Last year, he was second overall from the 29 cappers that we had on Pub Hub last year. Second overall, he was so consistent. And so it's no surprise that he started out the year 3-1 plus 1.8 units. Star of the Brothers and Betts YouTube channel alongside Coach. Please welcome our guy Marley to the show. Marley, what's good, man? How are you?
Yo, what's good? H-Town. Let's get it, Jimmy.
Your consistency has been just a thing to behold. So it was no surprise that you got off to a winning start this year. Let's get right to work. We start with Chargers, Steelers, and the floor is yours. We've set this one up.
Yeah, I'm just going with the trend, man. It's early, maybe too early to call it a trend, but first 2 Steeler games under. I money line both of them, and I'm going to keep the same thing here. I'm not going to change it. Give me the under. That's what I'm doing for show purposes. I actually took the money line too, if anybody wants to follow. Say what I said before. Chargers defense, it's the real deal. Especially with the addition of Patrick Queen. I don't care if Herbert plays, because if he does play, I think he had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to move around too much, because if he doesn't play, we know it's at least hurt. And on the other side, what do the Chargers want to do? They want to run the ball. So it's not the Chargers of old, drop back, throw it all over the field, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, all those guys. Upgraded the offensive line. Offense is ran by Greg Norman. If anybody know who that is, he's going to run the ball, come from the Ravens. So it's going to be one of those, I'm thinking, I don't know, 10-14 type ball games, 17-13. I wouldn't be surprised with a 7-10. Both teams want to run the ball. Neither one wants to throw. Chargers defense has been good. Hasn't really played anybody. I mean, they played the Panthers and the Raiders, so how good are they? Are they really that good at stopping the run? Remains to be seen. But I like the under here. Easy money.
We can get it for you at 36 right now. It's gone up a little bit, so under 36 at minus 109. Steelers minus 135. On a side note, because I bet this under at 38.5 10 days ago.
Nice.
The Colts Steelers next week is sitting at 40.5 right now, and I didn't pull the trigger. It's in Indianapolis, and something was just like telling me that I love these unders outdoor. Sometimes when it can be a bit of a track meet in some of these indoor games, and just first instinct. Do you think that 40.5 should be bet right now under in Steelers at Colts next week?
I take it. I don't think so. The question for me would be is, do I think Anthony Richardson can expose Pittsburgh defenses through the air?
No, that's true. That's true. I did take the 49ers Patriots under 40.5, but this one I was sitting on the airplane staring at it for hours, and something was keeping me from pulling the trigger on it. Under 36 at minus 109, and the Steelers money line minus 135. Let's roll on to Eagles Saints Caesars Superdome. I can't wait to hear. And Craig Wood saying Colts defense is ass. That was part of my thinking too. There was I just got nervous. I got nervous.
I like the Colts defense is ass. They can be ran on, but that's the thing. The Steelers are just going to run the ball anyway. So they're not going. It's not like the Steelers are going to score 30.
No, I feel you. Let's roll on to your next spot on the board. Eagles, Saints, Caesars Superdome. I can't wait to hear your breakdown because Bobano and I are on the over. I'm very nervous about it, and I got much more nervous about it hearing Ragu on the under. So take it away, Marley. Floor is yours.
I'm not on the total on this one. This one is just I like the Saints at home. Pause. I'll swallow the 2.5. For me personally, I don't know how anybody could trust the Eagles defense after what we saw in Atlanta. And even how they ended the season. There hasn't been they picked up right where they left off. And then especially with no AJ Brown, I just don't trust this team in big spots. I'm not saying this is a big spot, but I mean like in important spots in the game. Saquon Barkley, easy toss and catch. He shouldn't have dropped that pass, but technically, Jimmy, they shouldn't even ran the ball. I don't trust what's going on. I mean, they should have ran the ball. I shouldn't have thought.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have just ran the ball. Worst case scenario, you don't need to give them that time to off the clock. But that just shows you the lack of communication between Kellen Moore and Sirianni. And then Sirianni comes out and throws him under the bus like, oh, I didn't make the play call. I mean, I'm just the head coach. Hey, blame that guy over there. He's calling the plays. I don't trust nothing that's going on offensively. They're not on the same page. He's missing his best receiver. Yes, they can run the ball. But New Orleans Saints, I heard Bobano say he's not ready to back the Saints defense. They haven't showed us. I can understand that. But I say this, the Saints defense has been good over the years. The only reason we question them is really because they're kind of getting old. But still early in the season, those guys that have been playing thus far. And what can I say about Carr and the offense? Kamara has a resurgence. I know all about a Kubiak-led offense. It's going to score. And I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to hold up. You're over, Jimmy. If the Saints continue doing what they're doing, I think you can get there. I don't think the Eagles are going to put up 20s, high 20s, low 30s on this Saints defense. I think that stadium's going to be gassed, especially coming off that Cowboy win. They're going to be rocking in New Orleans. It's going to be a tough place to play. But if the Saints can give you what they've been doing, which is very capable with this Eagle defense, if the Saints can get you to 30, I think you get there.
Yeah, I'm nervous about the Eagles.
I'd be a little nervous, personally.
Yeah, it's uncomforting. Saints minus 2.5 at minus 110. Does that work for you? That's available right now at Pinnacle.
That's great. I'll take it.
Let's move on to the next spot on the board, which hasn't really been set up by us yet. Broncos, Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, 88 Fahrenheit, sunny, 6 miles per hour. Baron Browning out with the foot injury. We saw how much that affected them last year, not having Baron Browning out.
That's true.
Very important linebacker. And the Buccaneers are banged up, and they sure handled it well last week, but they're banged up. Luke Gadecki with the concussion, Kalijah Cansey with the calf injury, and Antoine Winfield out with the foot injury. You have Vita Vea doubtful with the knee injury. I mean, these are big losses, but they sure handled it with aplomb last week. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We're sitting at a -6 at +101 for Tampa. This was 6.5. It moved to 6 at 7:49 this morning. That's the first time that Pinnacle had moved it to 6. So, other books had, but they hadn't. From a total side of things here, we have a 40.5, slightly juiced to the over. This opened up at 39.5, so it has come up a point from 39.5 to 40.5. And when we get to the cash flow here for this one, God, sorry, let me get this Broncos Buck. Here we go. We have 70% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the over. Market moved at a point in that direction. And then 77% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Take it away, Marley. Broncos Bucks.
Yeah, I said this, I think week 1. Rookie quarterback on the road against the Todd Bowles-led defense. A lot of the times, I'm just looking at rookie quarterbacks going against good defensive-led coaches, teams with defense. It's a nightmare for them. I don't think Bo Nix, he scored 6 last week. That offense, 6 against Pittsburgh's defense. I don't think Tampa's Pittsburgh defense, 20 against the Seahawks. He's yet to throw for a touchdown. He's only thrown for 300 yards. His QBR is 36.4. He's just a rookie quarterback. So I expect him to go in and just struggle. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball. Yes, Tampa is injured, but hey, they went up against a more potent defense and offense in Detroit and seemed to hold their own. Now they did gave up a lot of yards, but they still stiff in the red zone. I just think Bo Nix is not going to be able to move this ball against this team. And also on the other side, man, hey, shaking Baker Mayfield has been doing his thing. 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception, 68.8 QBR, strong for over 400 yards. Like, Baker has been absolutely great for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the 6 points is I think we're easily going to win by a touchdown with Tampa at home against Bo Nix all day. This is one of my bigger bets that I got.
I get it. Mug Dog agreeing with it as well. Let's get you the best line available here for you on the Buccaneers. We have a -6 now at even money. -6.
Oh, man. Yeah.
At +100. And Skunk Blaster says last time the Cowboys were dogs was early 2022 and they won. Give me the Cowboys at home at even money. It's going to be a battle, and he includes a $9.99 dono. Thank you, Skunk Blaster. And I've only really heard people on the other side, so it's going to be. But we know it's 50-50 pretty much right now in the marketplace.
I don't care about that other team up the street.
Well, I see. You said that this game was a might bet. And I put it in the schedule because I want to hear you talk about it, whether or not
talk about it
or not. But let's talk about the next spot first. It's Texans, Vikings, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A banged up Texans running game. Joe Mixon out and Damian Pierce out. So it's Cam Akers and Dare Ogunbowale. And I don't think Akers really has it. I don't. For the Vikings, Jordan Addison is out. Justin Jefferson with the quad injury, full practice. He's ready to go, and you'll expect Jalen Naylor to get a lot of looks with Addison out. Let's get this line history up here for Texans, Vikings. This is sitting at +1.5 for Minnesota. We just heard Doc use the Vikings in his teaser. So, +1.5 becoming a +7.5. This is a plus 1.5 with no movement. There's been 1 cent of movement at Pinnacle since this line came out. Then on the total, we have a 46.5 juice to the over. This opened up at 45, so a 1.5 move towards the over. And when we get to the cash flow here, it's a 50-50 proposition for the Vikings, 46% of tickets and 50% of the cash. And for the total, 62% of the tickets and 60% of the cash on the over. Take it away, my man.
All right. This is my team, Jimmy. I'm right here, right here in the city. Hey, shout out to Jalen Petrie. He played for the little league I currently coach for.
Oh, that's dope.
And gave us all tickets to the game. So I was at the opener with 25 of my football players.
Oh, that's sweet.
Man, he came. We were on the floor while they were warming up. He came and signed autographs. Did the little breakdown with the guys. Tank Dell came through some balls. Will Anderson came over. And it was probably memories that my kids will never forget. So I appreciate that. Onto this game. You said it when you were breaking it down. We're down our starting running back Joe Mixon, the backup Damian Pierce, and that's crucial to what we're trying to do right now. Up against the Minnesota defense that leads the league in sacks, they really, really get after the quarterback. And I don't think this is an NFC game. It's not in the division. We have a lead on the division. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't care. I don't know. I think that's part of the reason why they're sitting both their running backs. CJ Stroud has been magnificent. He does what he does best. He doesn't turn the ball over. He has yet to throw an interception. And that was the biggest thing about him last year. He just doesn't make bad decisions. And Nico Collins has been ripping up him and his connection. He leads the league in yards. 14 receptions, 252 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, the offense has been magnificent, but what Brian Flores has been doing over there with that defense has been insane. And yeah, they played the Giants, but what they did to San Francisco, Minnesota's going to be a tough place to come in there and play. And on the other end, the Texans defense, we're second in pass rate. We're first in pass rate per rush. Minnesota's second. So our defensive line has been getting out there. And for those reasons, Jimmy, I'm off the side, but I'm on the under 46.5. I think it's way too high. I think the Vikings will struggle offensively, and I think it'll just might be a little bit too much. You're asking CJ to drop back the majority of this game against the pass rush that's right now number 1 in sacks, number 2 in pass rate per rush. So it might be a tough day. I lean, if you ask me to pick a side with a gun in my head, I'm taking my Texans because I think we're the better team. I think our offense has a better chance to score against their defense than their offense has a better chance to score against our offense. Because I think Sam Darnold would turn the ball over. Jefferson's a little banged up. But give me the under for my money, 46.5.
I like it. You're going up against the market move, and that takes balls. You can get a 46.5 minus 104. You can also get a 47 at minus 114.
Give me that minus 47. Minus 114.
Yeah, it's a crucial number. Under 47, minus 114 for our guy Marley. And then Ravens, Cowboys. And I'm not pushing you to give action. I just wanted to hear your take. When I heard that you might move on, and I was like, I'm putting in the schedule.
All right, this is my thing right here. If the Ravens just run the fucking ball, Jimmy, if they just run the ball, when they do it, they're good at it. Henry last game he only had 18 carries, but he had 80-something yards. I don't have the numbers right in front of me. But if Henry should have like 24, low 20, maybe even if it's working high 20s, like let him pound the Cowboys have shown you since back to last season. They cannot stop the run. Just run it down their throat. You got 2 great tight end. Well, 1 great, 1 on the rise tight end, and likely I like what he's doing. And Andrews proven line up in double tight, pound Henry. Let Lamar Jackson be special in the 4th, so he doesn't have to be special the entire game. I think the problem what we saw in Kansas City is you're asking him to do every fucking thing all day long, and by the time the 4th quarter comes around, He's gassed. Lean on Henry. That's what you got him for. On the Cowboys side of things, the offense didn't look bad. I don't think you can look at the Saints game and be like, oh, it was the offense's fault. It was that and the boys' fault. The defense just got tore up. However, I don't trust that in that offense. I trust CD. I don't trust to have a running game yet. I love CD on the outside. That's wishy-washy to me. Sometimes he performs good, sometimes he doesn't. I don't trust them just like the Eagles, like in high tense situations when the money's on the line and you need a play. Like Dak and that Cap McCarthy, they all make terrible decisions. It's like the pressure gets to them. And I don't trust a team like that. I don't trust a team that can't stop the run. That's football one-on-one. Like if you can't stop the run, you're going to lose. The Ravens come in desperate. If I had to make a play, Jimmy, I would go Ravens first half. Because at the end of the day, I don't trust the Ravens to close out the freaking game because I don't know what they're doing. But in the first half, they're killing people. Give me the Ravens first half. I think it's minus half a point and it's plus money if I'm not mistaken.
Let's get this Ravens first half line in here right now. And then I know you got a big picture day with the boys, and I love what you're doing in the community here. So thank you so much for making time for us. The Ravens first half is it's if you want a money lines minus 113. If you want a minus a half, it's plus 106.
Minus 113. Give me the minus half. They're going to win the first half.
Minus a half at plus 106. Minus a half plus 106. You are locked in. Ravens minus a half. Ravens first half minus a half plus 106. The under 47 at minus 114. Bucks minus 6 at even money. Saints minus 2.5 at minus 110. And the under 36 in Chargers, Steelers, and the Steelers money line. You are locked in. Marley, my man, thank you so much for making time for us. Can you please tell our listeners a little bit about what's going on with Brothers and Bets?
Yeah, man, Wednesdays we do 2 shows. We do the NFL show, me and normally the homie LJ from Houston right here at Brothers and Bets. And then backdoor at nighttime, me and Coach break down the college shows and the college picks same night at 8 o'clock. So 2 shows on Wednesdays at Brothers and Bets. And you get me personally at Marley_Bets.
Oh man, you're the man. Your consistency is just—it's unparalleled. I've not seen anyone with.
Going, man. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Have a great practice with the kids, and thank you so much for making time for us, Marley, my man. Marley_Bets and Brothers in Bets. Please support our guy because he just gives us winners nonstop. You're the man, Marley. Thank you for rocking with us.
Yeah.
There he is, our guy, Marley. Let's keep rolling here. We're a little bit behind, so I got to speed this up. Let's keep rolling. Our next guest star of Midday Money on the Mr. Sean Higgs YouTube channel. The aforementioned Mr. Sean Higgs in the house. Sean, how are you, my man?
Not too bad, Jimmy. How are you today? Good to see everybody.
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back in business here. Just rolled off the plane, in an hour, like 45 minutes before the show started. So I'm sweaty. I'm a little shaky.
I came in early. I gotta go pick up the wife's flying back in. I gotta go get her. They switched her flight. I was like, oh no, Jose, try to move me up a little bit.
Well, I hope this worked out for you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Let's get right to work. You start with Bears Colts. We've already set it up, so we just want to hear how you're getting paid.
Yeah. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna keep me nice and simple here. I'm not betting, and we'll see on our next game here. Give me the Colts. You want to money line it? You want -1, whatever the case may be. I have no faith in any of these rookie quarterbacks. The Colts looked bad last week. They're home. They're just a better team. Listen, this Bears team will get better. I don't like the coach. I'm not a big fan of the quarterback. Like every other rookie quarterback, is not throwing a touchdown pass. All they got to do is win with a borderline playoff team with the Colts at home. Give me the Colts. Square play. I do not care.
Colts, you can get -1 at -118 or -126 on the money line.
Let's go 126. That's why I haven't bothered.
Colts money line -126 for Mr. Sean Higgs. Firing away. Broncos, Buccaneers. Take it away.
Same thing. You have faith in Bo Nix. 4 interceptions, 0 touchdown passes. And I've had Denver. I had them 2 weeks ago opening day. I had them against the Steelers. I'm done. I know this could be a little letdown spot for Tampa here at home off of a big win. Detroit Philly on deck. You're thinking that's a lowly Denver team coming in, an AFC non-division, non-conference game. If you're a good team, Tampa Bay, you just come in here, you take care of business, and you win this game 23-6 or something. Baker's a better quarterback. I got a head coach, system, running back, wide receivers. Everything's the same as opposed to a rookie into the fire on the road. No, thank you. Tampa Bay will lay to 6.5.
Well, that's moved to -6 at even money.
And you know what? A lot of guys I know are on Denver. Because, well, you know what? You saw all these 6.5 point dogs. All of them have covered so far. I think they're perfect 8-0 in the season. I understand that. I'm just not betting on a guy who can't hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. So what's the score going to be? 6-0? What is this? 5-0 this game? Well, you're telling me Tampa's not scoring 20 points? Forget about it.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. And the way the Buccaneers have handled these injuries, that was very, very impressive last week. Let's roll on, Sean. Next up for you, Giants, Cleveland Browns, Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. This game hasn't been talked about yet. 79 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 mile per hour winds. David Njoku out. Same with Pierre Strong Jr. It's Conklin and Jedrick Wills, who were both out last week, that are so helpful on the offensive line. Wills was limited at practice all week. Conklin was limited, but he wasn't even on the injury report for a couple of those days. Now he's back on the injury report. We expect them to go. Let's get into the line history here. And Brian Burns dealing with the groin injury, questionable right now. Same with Nick McLeod at cornerback. But all this Giants team has is that pass rush. So it's important that Burns out there. This totals at 38 minus 112 to the over. So it opened up at 38.5. Now it's at 38. So we've had a half-point move towards the under. And on the spread right now, these Cleveland Browns are minus 6.5 at even money. They opened up at 7 and now at 6.5. Take a look at the cash flow then on this Brown spot. 39% of the tickets and 60% of the cash is on the under. And on the spread, you have 40% of the tickets and 46% of the cash on the New York Giants. Take it away, Sean.
I do like the under this game, and I got a little something on that myself here at the 30.5. But I'm gonna go Cleveland here. And I was wrong. I thought for sure I had the Jags last week. I said Cleveland, they'll get rid of Watson, and we'd have a home game here with Jameis Winston coming out for a start. But they somehow pulled out a win over the Jags team. You're 6.5 here over a Giants. How are we taking the Giants? You lose without giving up a TD last week. This team's a hot mess. I can't. Give me the Browns. Again, I understand taking the dogs based on everything we've seen in the last 2 weeks. But Cleveland at home, always a better defense at home. They had a bad performance versus Dallas here last time. But, Dak and CeeDee Lamb are a little bit better than Daniel Jones and the rookie neighbors. I'm going to go Cleveland here, 6.5. I also like the under, too, as well. But and that's more based on bad quarterback play for both teams. The fact Cleveland's a little banged up on the line. Giants' defense they always have a little defense. The problem is they can't score. So why would I take them with points? Give me Cleveland minus 6.5, and I also got a little play here on the under for the chat if they're interested in the total.
And do you want to make the under official here as well? Or just
make it official. Let's do it. I like that.
I can get you that -6 at minus 111.
Let's go. -6 and 30.5.
-6 and yes, and 38.5 is actually minus 114 right now. I'll see if I can get that lower vig. I'll do that right now here.
I'm not worried about it because it's a winner, so don't worry about the vig. So.
Under 38.5 minus 114 as well. The Browns -6. Higgsy, we move on to Panthers Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Take it away.
Yeah, so here's a prime spot where the Raiders are going to wet the bed. They cost me last week. Ravens blew a 10-point lead at home in the fourth quarter. But this one here, it's gone from 4 to 7, quarterback change down to 5.5, 6. I'm taking the Panthers. This game has like a field goal win or just a Raider loss written all over it. I'm taking the Panthers. The players on the team are going to be like, let's prove that we're not the problem, and maybe it's Bryce Young. So everybody's going to be playing with that proverbial chip on their shoulders, and Raiders are just in a classic letdown kind of spot here. So I don't want to lay any points with the Raiders. I mean, listen, if I'm laying 4 with the Raiders, I could get behind it. 5, 6, 7 with a move to. No, thank you. Give me the points here with Carolina.
Plus 5.5 and minus 107 right now at Pinnacle for the Panthers. Troy's gone back to it. We both lost on the Panthers in weeks 1 and week 2, and he's gone back in week 3, and he likes the spot, and it's moved through the number 6, and the public's on the Raiders, and it is a letdown opportunity. I get it.
I had him week 1, and after the performance, I came back with the Chargers next week. I said, "There's no way I could bet on team." Dude, Bryce Young came out of whether it was a quarter change or a TV timeout and took a delay a game. Like, are you kidding? It was 30-0. I can't. No way. Well, now it's a different team though. Now I got a 34-year-old veteran in there quarterback. So I'll take the Panthers.
Yeah, I get it. Let's roll on. The final spot on the board for you is 4:25 p.m. Eastern. San Francisco 49ers at Los Angeles Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Just a litany of injuries on each side. We talked about it off the top. For the Niners, they have their offense with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and McCaffrey out, and now Charvarius Ward and Nick Bosa added to that list. And so, Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings have to do a monster, and Eric Saubert as well, the tight end. So it's not the same group. And then for the Rams, it's the same deal. No Puka, no Kupp. So it's DeMarcus Robinson and Tyler Johnson and Tutu Atwell and then Colby Parkinson. So it's a very different look. And I took the under, and this has gone against me total wise.
Yeah.
On the spread, it's a 6.5. Right now, this opened up at 7.5, 1 point move to the Rams, which really does appeal to me. And it's just a 49 that's going to win by margin, and the total at 44.5. Let me just give you the cash flow quickly, Sean. Here, the cash flow is 71% of the tickets and 61% of the cash on the Niners, and it's gone to 6.5 from 7.5. And this total, 62% of the tickets, 48% cash on the over. It's gone up a point. I got 43.5. It's now at 44.5. Take it away.
I like my openers, right? Do my little headline show. This was 4.5 last week. And then the Niners lose, which not really shocking off the Monday night win. And the Rams get demolished. And then injuries start going and the line goes up. To me, this is a total overreaction because the Niners lost a decent amount of players themselves. Are they a better team still? Probably. But, I mentioned Tutu Atwell. He's played before for the Rams. He's got a little time in the system here. This is just basically, I'm going to take a number that I don't think should have. The 4.5 was right a week ago. I think the injuries kind of level out the way both teams played. The Niners were in a tough game. The Rams totally embarrassed. So 2 points based on an embarrassment when they lost some guys they weren't ready to lose during in game. I get a little extra point value here. Give me the Rams.
I think this is
and I'm with you on the under too. 45-44. I think this is a low scoring game. So
do I.
I like you on that under as well.
We can get you that under 44.5.
Let's do them both. Rams and the under.
I think I'm going to join you on the Rams. I mean, who better than you to bet against your own team? And this is it just feels like it's going to be a tight game. You
look at this and people will say, "Oh, Niners win this by a touchdown. What's the big deal? Everybody's out for the Rams." Right? I don't see it that way.
I also think this is going to be a 6 here within a couple hours too. It just because even the 6.5 right now for the 49ers is even money.
Well, touch 7 for about a day or so and came right down. Like, why wouldn't you take a touchdown? You get a touchdown, sure. But we've seen with these other dogs, we saw with Denver, it's kind of moved down. The sharp guys are going to take those 6.5s based on the covering number the last couple weeks with these underdogs. So the last 2 weeks, I should say.
You got it. Rams plus 6.5, minus 109. The under 44.5 at minus 104. He's on the Panthers plus 5.5. He's on the Browns minus 6 and minus 111, and the under 38.5. We have the Bucks minus 6 at even money. The Colts money line minus 126 for our guy Sean Higgs. Sean, I know you're so busy today. Thank you so much for making time for us, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and good luck, everybody. I hope I get a little bounce back. I've had a little struggled a little bit early here in football, but it is.
Well, we got to get you on our live stream too, if that's cool. If you can hang out with us, we'd love it.
I'll pop in. I got your Canadian brother up there tonight too, as well. So I do.
I love him. Love Dave, man. Higgs, man. Get that cash, Higgsy. Thank you so much, and please support Higgsy's YouTube channel. I am a subscriber. I hope you guys support him as well. All right, it's time to move on to our season 3 champion and currently dominating as we've started the year. On last week's show, he gave out the Panthers to be the lowest scoring team of the week or of the Sunday at plus 750. Some guys got it of the week at plus 1,000, but he has been simply spectacular. 9-4 plus 12.05 units coming to us from Kingston, Ontario. Please welcome to the show our guy Birdie Betts in the house. Birdie, how are you?
Great, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. A lot of people came into the chat right off the hop and said, I'm here for Birdie. And I know how much this means to you. I love seeing you succeed. Let's get to work here. You start with a money line parlay. And the first part of that money line parlay is in Chargers Steelers. Get us started.
Yeah, I just like the pardon me, the Steelers just to win on the money line here. Chargers are pretty banged up. Herbert, I don't think is playing. If he plays, he's going to be just stationary in that pocket with that ankle injury. I like the Steelers at home. I believe this is their home opener. I'll just take them on the money line here.
It is the home opener at Acrisure Stadium, 75 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 3 miles per hour. So you start with the Steelers money line. That's at minus 136 right now. And you add a spot in the Giants Browns to it. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the Browns down to win here. I also think they cover this game, but I'll just stick. I'm not overly comfortable with week 3 here. I think week 3 is always the toughest week to zone in on. So I'm going to go a little lighter here. So try to keep it simple. So I'll just add the Browns money line to that, but I also think the Browns cover this game.
You get a plus 136 right now at Pinnacle on Steelers moneyline, Cleveland Browns moneyline. Your next spot on the board is another moneyline parlay, a 2-team moneyline parlay, and you start in the Texans-Vikings game at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Take it away.
Okay, I am adding Houston. Is there any 1.5 left out there?
Let me see right now. Is there anything here? Yes, of course. Yes, lots.
Okay. So I'm going to add Houston at 1.5. And then I'm good for this money line parlay. I'm going Houston money line here.
Another thing, though, just sorry to interrupt, but you can get a -1 at minus 110.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the -1.
Okay.
The NFL to me is very much a situational week-to-week league. And in this particular spot, this is just horrible spot for Minnesota. That was a massive win for them last week, just massive. Like, I don't think I can overstate how big of a win that was for that organization at home. And now you've got division hopes, you've got playoff hopes, and then next week you've got a road game, division game in Green Bay. And that's just such a massive game for them next week because the winner of that game is really set up perfect moving forward here and hope to maybe competing for the division now. Definitely the playoffs are in view if you can win that game next week. This is just such a horrible spot for Minnesota today. So I'll just add the Houston money line also to that money line parlay with the Chiefs here coming up.
Houston money line, and we're going to add it to another spot. Texans -1 at -110. So the other spot you are adding to it, to the Texans money line, comes in Chiefs Falcons, our Sunday nighter. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go with the Chiefs money line here. Chiefs are pretty banged up. They really are. I think losing Pacheco is going to hurt. But as I said Tuesday, don't sleep on Pirine. He excels in these types of situations. So I'm not too sure if the Chiefs cover or not. So I'll just take the money line and just do simple little money line parlay here.
Okay, let's rock and roll. Let me just grab this Chiefs Texans here over at again at Pinnacle. The Texans money line is down to -115. Do you want to have that instead of the -1 to -110?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's.
Well, yeah, because we're doing. Oh yeah, sure. So we'll double up the Houston money line single and then in the parlay. Yeah. Good idea.
Okay, so then the Chiefs. This is a nice one. So you're going to get +209 right now on Houston money line, Chiefs money line plus 209, and then Texans -1 at -1. Oh, sorry, no, Texans money line. Sorry, it's did that. Sorry, a -115. Locked and loaded. So then, Birdie, you attack a player prop. We have a player prop for Birdie to close up his card here in Eagles Saints. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go Hurts over 50 rushing yards, so that milestone one up at 365. So Hurts has played the Saints twice. And the first time he rushed the ball 18 times for 105 yards. The second time he rushed 18 times for 69 yards. Don't see why that changes today, especially with Brown out. So I'll take that nice value there at the 50 yards. And just for, I'm not giving this out, but for anyone interested, for the alt attempt for Hurts over 15.5 is plus 600. I'm not going to play that, but he's hit it twice in the 2 times he's played, but I'm not giving that out. Just a heads up if people don't see it.
50 plus yards or more rushing at plus 145. And then he's got the Texans money line at -115 with the Houston money line, Chiefs money line. That's a plus 209. And then he also has the Steelers money line and Browns money line at plus 136. AOD, we love your excitement, my man. We love the energy you bring. And Birdie, you have been delivering 9 and 4 plus 12.05 units. And you know what we do when someone's winning like this? We want him on every single show. Birdie, you're delivering the goods. Thank you. And please support Birdie on X at Birdie_Betts. I'm going to put his handle in the chat. Let's please support our guy who does so much for us. Birdie, thank you, my friend. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, if you haven't registered to join Pub Sports, let's get on that membership. Everything's free here. You get great content. It's the people that they get on every week to provide these free picks for you all. I mean, it would cost you thousands in the touting world. So support this channel, like, subscribe. You just gotta love what Jeff is doing here with Pub Sports Radio, and it's always love sharing the screen with Jimmy and Higgsy and Doc and everybody and Babano. Good luck, everybody.
I always love his endings. There he is, Birdie, 9 and 4 plus 12.05 units. Let's roll on. You know your next guest because he's been filling your pockets in the college gridiron, and we want him here on our NFL Pub Hub shows. He did make a late appearance last year, a couple of them, and was very strong. He actually finished in the top 5 last year overall. And it was in a very smaller sample size. Hopefully we have a much bigger sample size this year. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, our guy Wine Time Sports. Wine Time, how are you?
Jimmy the Bag, my guy, back from the island. Good to see you, man. Good to see you back in action. I'm ready to cap with you, man. Let's get to it. We'll cap these games pretty quick because I know we got a couple people backstage.
Let's get it, my friend. Bears Colts is how you start. Take it away.
Yeah, looking at this game, guys, I'm really liking the over. You know, both these teams' defense have definitely been playing pretty well this season so far. You've seen the Bears create a lot of turnovers right now. They're going to play inside the dome right now. I think a lot of points are going to be scored in this one. We see a total at 44. I think it's too low. I actually think it's down to 43.5 right now. I still like it. I think I gave it out on Twitter at over 44. But I think points are going to be scored in this one. I think Caleb Williams is finally going to have his coming out game. I think he's going to throw his first touchdown. I'm not a guy that's high on Caleb Williams this year, but I do think that this is very much a game that he can perform well in, especially in the dome. You know, we look at his rushing yards too. He's went over this number twice, over 11.5 seems very low. I'm not going to take anything on it. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of leaning towards the under because I do think they're going to try to emphasize throwing the ball a little bit more, especially Caleb. You know, all it takes for him though is to get a couple carries to get over that 11.5. But yeah, we're on the over. I think this is going to get to 48, maybe even 50. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I was even thinking about maybe moving on the first half over, but I'm just going to keep it the first game or the whole game over. I'm also on the Bears in this one, guys. Not sure what the best number you can get from me right now, Jim. If you can get me a +1 or a +2, I'll definitely take that. But yeah, I'm on the Chicago Bears and the over in this one.
Well, you know, you did tweet all this out officially, so we can take the lines that you tweeted out. So you got the +2 at -110 with the over 44 at -110 in Bears Colts. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. This is a highly divisive game. Ravens Cowboys. What side are you on?
Yeah, I'm on the 0-2 side in this one. Actually, the Ravens have lost their last 3 games. If you're dating back to the playoffs last year, I think the Ravens are going to try to run the ball at will here in this game, especially with Derrick Henry. I think he got 18 carries last game. I think he's going to get 20 plus this game. Not only that, I think Lamar Jackson's going to really try to run the ball here against this Dallas defense that has been struggling to stop the run, you could say. Haven't been horrible, but they haven't been good by any means. I mean, they just got killed on the ground by Alvin Kamara last week. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a big game. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a big game. Give me the Ravens -1 in this. I think that they're going to finally get their first one of the season. They start 0-3 here. I'm going to have some serious questions about them, but Dallas coming off, a very bad loss at home. They're coming back here at home. It's definitely a hard situation here, especially when I look at the market, because I don't think the market necessarily agrees with me in this spot. But, I'm on the Ravens. I think they're going to get their first win of the season here. I think they're going to emphasize running the ball a lot in this game, and they're going to get the dub.
Ravens -1 at -110. Next up for you, Wine Time, you head to Minnesota US Bank Stadium for Texans Vikings. Take it away.
Another game where I think is going to be very much high scoring. I'm not an over better by any means. I usually don't give out overs, especially in NFL and college football, but I just feel like I had a lot of value in this game here at the over. I believe I gave it out at, 46. So I did give it out at 46 over, and I see it's at 46.5. I still like it. I think this is going to go way over the total. I think we're going to see Sam Darnold as well, Jimmy. Give me his over in passing yards. I think he's going to throw for at least 300 today. I think it's at 235 -125, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's going to have a big game. I think Darnold knows this offense. He's been playing really well. Texans only a 1.5 favorite against the Vikings, with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Definitely screams a little something. I think the Vikings might get this win here too. But I'm going to stay off the side. I'm going to stick with the total. That's going to be over 46 -110. And Sam Darnold over passing yards.
Sam Darnold over 235 at -125 and the over 46 at -110. So that is the action. We haven't got to I
think that was 3 games. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it. I was looking at your official action, so you just didn't use all of it because you also have. Okay, I feel you. Okay, let's go over Wine Time's action here. Over 44 in Bears Colts and the +2 on the Bears. Ravens -1 at -110 and the over 46 in Houston, Minnesota, and Sam Darnold over 235 pass yards at -125.
Let's go.
Spectacular work in college football so far this year, and I love that we have you now for NFL. We've been watching you and Kong crush, and so we brought you over here to rock with us. So thank you for all that you do for us, Wine Time. Please support our guy Wine Time on X. I retweeted out his action here as well at Wine Time Sports. I'm going to put his handle here in the chat. Please support our guy Wine Time. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show, my man?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. I think this is the most amount of people I've ever seen in the chat when I've been on screen. Appreciate you for having me as always, Jim. I can't wait to cap with you this week, man. We had a good week last week with Jose. I believe we went 3-2 and 4-2 on the show. I forgot which one. We went 10-6 overall for the whole week. We had a good Thursday and Friday. Saturday was okay. That Baylor game was a tough loss last night. I'm not going to lie. That was one of the toughest losses I've taken in quite some time. But, I think we were on the right side in that one. We're going to keep getting this cash. We're going to keep delivering here on these Saturdays tailgate. We're going to keep delivering on Jimmy in the Bag show this week. I'm stoked to work with you, Jim. It's a blast.
Oh, it's mutual, my man. And excellent work. Wine Time has hammered the board, hammered these 3 games. Wine Time, I will be in touch, my friend, and looking forward to cap this week. I'm nice to be back in business. So let's get that cash, my guy.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Respect. Let's bring on our next guest coming to us from South Jersey, star of mixed martial arts capping, WNBA and NBA capping, and of course, NFL capping. Please welcome Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
What's up? Shouts to everybody in the chat, man. We're back. Another NFL pub season. Last year, we had to get locked in on the UFC last year. UFC the end of the year just kind of, times and stuff like that. That's why we got a big card today.
Well, let's hammer because we got to move quickly, but we should be okay. But we got to move quickly. So let's go. Giants, Browns. We've already set this game up. So how are you getting paid?
Yeah, Amari Cooper, anytime touchdown plus 200. He got off to a slow start with only 5 receptions this year for only 21 yards, no touchdown. But Watson's been still throwing his way, leading the team with 17 targets. Out of the 27 players in the NFL that have been targeted at least 15 times in each game, he's the only one with the under 30% catch rate. I think that's going to all change around today against the Giants.
Amari Cooper, anytime touchdown at plus 200. Next spot you're attacking is Eagles Saints. What's your move there?
Yeah, this is a double up spot for me. Probably my biggest bet of the year, just in general. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown. We did it on FanDuel. Can we do odds boost? How are the odds boost things work on this show?
No, we don't. We don't count the odds boosts here for our record.
Minus 143 at Caesars and Bet 365 odds boost prop of the day. Saquon Barkley 50 plus rushing yards, anytime touchdown, plus 150 there. This is my biggest bet of the day here. I don't even have to really explain too much. Drop the ball, blah blah blah. Game theory perspective, all this money's coming in on Alvin Kamara, anytime touchdown. We're gonna flip the script and we're gonna go Saquon Barkley, just as good as anybody else to find the back of the end zone this week. As Saquon Barkley goes marching in the back of the end zone, great money this weekend. Probably my best bet of the card.
So for our work here, we're just gonna take the Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown.
I mean, do you want the Bet 365 prop? Or I mean, it's a double up spot for me. It's my biggest bet.
Boosts. It's the same thing that we do on Bankroll Blitz. Like we don't count that when Troy has a boost. We don't count that as for our record keeping purposes. So we'll just keep doing that. But I respect it. Barkley anytime touchdown minus 146. Let's roll on to the next one.
3 Caesars.
Oh, beautiful. Minus 143. Beautiful. And also Lamont Williams came in with his best bet. That was always must know information. As soon as I started in Costa Rica, it's Tampa Bay -2, and you also liking the Cleveland Browns today. Let's roll. Next up for our guy Brizzy, Bears Colts. Take it away.
Yeah, this one here.
Give me just a sec. I can finally boot this guy for spam. It was tough. Because you can't just boot anybody. You have to have a reason to boot him, and he can come back with a new handle. And but yeah, we don't spam the chat. You can say anything you want, but it can't be racist. It can't be sexist, and it can't be spam, and it also can't be lies. Those are the rules from Peter Loshek, and we finally got to boot that guy for spam. Feels real good. Take it away, Brizzy. Next up, Bears Colts.
Yeah, Josh Downs over 29.5 receiving yards. He's going to make his season debut today. Pivotal part of this offense, especially in the RPO option sets. Colts ran the second most NFL RPO sets. Pittman's probably going to be limited a little bit. He's been Anthony Richardson's favorite target throughout the last couple of seasons. In the 4 games that he played with AR, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 97 yards, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 34 yards, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 37 yards, 7 targets, 4 receptions, 30 yards. This line's ridiculously low. Josh Downs over 29.5 receiving yards at FanDuel minus 110.
Yeah, I get this look. Now, the Bears secondary is very strong, but that's a very low number. Downs over 29.5 receiving yards for Brizzy. Brizzy, next up for you, Broncos, Buccaneers. Your pace is beautiful. What's next?
Yeah, we're looking at Bucky Irvin, anytime touchdown, plus 260 at FanDuel Sportsbook. The story's kind of out in Rashad, right? He's a great pass catcher and all that, but he's not the best runner. He's only averaged 2.0 yards per carry, which is absolutely brutal. The rookie Bucky Irvin's had 84 rushing yards on only 16 attempts, despite facing top 12 ranked defenses this year. I mean, Denver's gotten thrashed on the ground, allowing a ton of just volume and production, allowing 33 attempts and 140 yards in each game. The worst NFL yards per attempt, worst NFL yards per game, and dating back to last year, they were 24th ranked against the defense. I think Bucky Irvin, the rookie, is going to find the back of the end zone here at plus 260.
I like it. And Spenny also on Bucky says, yes, Billy, yes, Bucky. He's on Bucky over 29.5 fresh yards at minus 120. He's also taking him for 50 plus at plus 320. So I'm going to keep an eye on Bucky for both of you guys. And that anytime touchdown was plus 260?
Plus 260 FanDuel
Beautiful. Let's roll on, Brizzy. Panthers, Raiders, Legion Stadium. Next up, the home opener for the Raiders.
Yeah, we're just going to be quick with this one. Zamir White, anytime touchdown, plus 125, bet 365. If you listen to any of the Raiders coach speak, I mean, Antonio Pierce is talking about getting this dude 20 plus touches a game. And granted, the Raiders' first two matchups weren't there. I mean, but the Panthers are just absolutely terrible. They have allowed the second most rushing yards, second most TDs during the end of the season last year when White emerged as the back over Jacobs during the final 4 games of the season. He had 17 plus rush attempts in every game, 4.6 yards per attempt, and 6.7 yards per carry. So, all over Zamir White, anytime touchdown today, plus 125.
Anytime touchdown, plus 125 for Zamir White. Next up for you is this 49ers Rams spot at 4:25 p.m. Eastern, SoFi Stadium. Rams home opener. Take it away.
Yeah, minus 163. Jordan Mason, anytime touchdown. He went over this number week 1 and week 2. No Debo, no Kittle. I mean, the offense is going to be focused around him in the run game. The Rams' defensive line is just in absolute shambles. They have allowed Monty and Gibbs to combine for 131 plus yards in week 1. James Conner at 122 last week. Jordan Mason's going to find the back of the end zone.
Locked and loaded. Mason anytime touchdown minus 163. And then your final spot on the board, Baltimore.
You got to add a game as well. Added game was the Lions and Cardinals.
Okay, dope. Okay, well, why don't we go? Okay, thank you for mentioning that. My bad. Lions, Cardinals. Let's go there next. Lions, Cardinals. Take it away.
Amon-Ra, St. Brown, anytime touchdown, plus 110 in week 2. Lamar-Ra led the team in targets, 18 targets, but had 11 catches with 119 yards, 22% target share. I mean, the Cardinals' bottom 10 defense so far, guard and wide receivers, yet to score a touchdown with all that volume and usage. He's going to find the back of the end zone, plus 110.
Plus 110 for Amon-Ra St. Brown, anytime touchdown. And then we move to Redbeard, by the way, running with you on the Amari Cooper at plus 200 prop. Take it away for us, Ravens, Cowboys. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown, plus 195. Lamar and the offense hasn't been the problem in Baltimore. It's really the fucking defense. Baltimore's offense is leading the league in offensive yards per game. I like to attack rookie cornerbacks just like the NFL. Flowers, 22 targets, 4th in the NFL, 4 of those in the red zone. Should have scored week 1 on that primetime game versus KC. Was able to find the end zone week 2 against the Raiders. His involvement in the red zone is way too large. He's the Lamar wide receiver 1.
And they found that Downs prop at 27.5 for you over at FanDuel, over 27.5 yards. All right, let's review Brizzy's action here. We got Cooper anytime touchdown at plus 200, Barkley anytime touchdown minus 143, Downs over 27.5 receiving yards at minus 110, Bucky Irvin anytime touchdown plus 260, Zamir White anytime touchdown at plus 125. Mason, anytime touchdown, minus 163. Amon-Ra St. Brown, anytime touchdown at plus 110. And Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown at plus 125 for our guy, Brizzy. Brizzy, thank you so much for making time for us, my man. I hope you can rock with us tonight on the live stream. I'll reach out and would love to live bet with you and get that cash with you tonight in Chiefs Falcons. Please support our guy, Brizzy, on X at getting Bills _Bills_. Brizzy, my man, any last words for Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, see y'all tonight. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Make sure you follow me over on X, Getting Bills, Billy Burrs DFS over on IG. Let's get it.
Let's get it. There he is, Billy Brisbane. I am really excited about our final guest here on the show, making his NFL Pub Hub debut, the first of hopefully many, many appearances. I know he's been absolutely destroying the college gridiron, and I'm enormously excited to share the screen with him. Please welcome his NFL Pub Hub debut, our guy Kong's Clips in the house. Kong, was good, man?
Jimmy, what's good, brother?
Oh, dude, it's great to have you on screen, man. Respect for what you've been doing in college football, the energy that you bring to our chat, capping. You are it's a lot of fun rocking with you, man. So thank you for all that you bring to our community. You're selfless in your capping, and we're really excited to have you here on the show. So thank you so much for joining us. Kong, let's get right to work, my man. We start with Houston Texans at Minnesota Vikings, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We discussed the injuries to Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce and to Jordan Addison. How you getting paid, my man?
All right, so I'm loading up on Nico Collins, big receiver, I love what he's doing this year. Stroud's finding a way to get him the ball. So we're going Nico Collins, 75.5 plus receiving yards. It's what I got it at a couple days ago. Just give me the best number. And then I have him at over 75.5 minus 110.
Okay.
I assume it's went up a little bit. Also, I have him at 90 plus at plus 146. And then I have at 110 plus at plus.
Wow. Okay.
Good? Got me?
Yeah. So the 90 plus was plus 146?
Yep. And then 110 plus at plus 280.
Ooh, I like it. We've been talking
And then I have
over the last couple of years about what Spenny's been doing with laddering these props up. Sorry to interrupt, my man. What did you want to add?
No, you're good. I have him for a touchdown as well at plus 140.
And a touchdown at plus 140. Hammering the board here on Nico Collins, plus 140. I like it. Thank you, presidential-minded Kings. Thank you. I'm very happy to be back rocking with everybody. And I'm very excited to be a part of the NFL Pub Hub debut for our guy Kong's Clips. Nico Collins day for him at US Bank Stadium. He's got over 75.5 receiving yards minus 110, 90 plus at plus 146, 110 plus at plus 280, and anytime touchdown at plus 140. So we'll be keeping a big eye on Nico Collins. Let's move to your next spot. The next game you are attacking, Kong, Eagles Saints, Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. What's your plan?
I've got Alvin Kamara, 67.5 plus rushing yards. Philly defense struggling against the run past couple weeks. I think he gets off. I think you can probably get him for a couple touchdowns, but I'm just betting his rush prop over.
And what was that number again?
67.5 at minus 115.
Alvin Kamara over 67.5 rush yards at minus 115. Did you think about going rushing and receiving with Kamara? Or why is it that you wanted to focus solely on the rushing? Is it the Eagles' soft spot in their defense, their run defense, or what was the angle?
Yeah, I looked at his rush yards. I didn't even look at his rushing and receiving, but that's probably a good look as well. But I think he gets off on the ground.
Keep it clean. I get it. Presidential-minded Kings is on Shaheed over 50 receiving yards for the Saints. Mally Mal says, yes, Kamara props. He's scoring 2. Speaking of scoring 2, did you think of going anytime touchdown with Kamara?
I did. I think it was minus 170 when I looked at it.
Too juiced. No, I feel you.
I mean, playing for 2 plus, he probably gets there, but it was, I want to say it was plus 170, plus 200 for 2 touchdowns. It's just not worth it in my book.
No, I hear you. So we have Kamara over 67.5 rush yards for Kong. And then the final spot on Kong's card and the final game on today's show, we're 12 minutes away from kickoff, is Bears Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium. Kong, take it away.
I have Indy, the Colts for a bounce back here at minus 1.5. I think Caleb Williams will get better, but I think he's got to be humbled first. And I think this first season he's going to be humbled and hopefully get his act together because he was a really good quarterback in college. So give me the Colts at home minus 1.5.
Minus 1.5 is minus 110 right now for Kong's Clips. Kong, we have a minute here, and I'd like to have you on more shows. We really dig your vibe. But why don't you give us a second on how you got into sports handicapping?
I watched sports growing up with my dad. Sports betting became legal in Indiana in 2018. I think it was March. I dove in head first soon as it came out. I've been betting with friends and stuff growing up, you know what I mean? And then when I seen it open in Indiana, it was like, I'm in, I'm all in. And I've been going hard ever since.
Well, we love rocking with you, man. And you're getting a ton of love from the chat for what you're doing in college football. So thank you for making time for us here in the NFL.
Can I throw in a touchdown parlay real quick?
Absolutely. And guys, I put Kong's Twitter handle there in the chat. If you guys can go support our guy Kong. Donut Silk says Kong killed it yesterday. That's what he's been doing, man. He's been eating. Yes, touchdown parlay here from Kong. Let's hit it.
I bet these all separate as well, but I've got Mike Evans, Nico Collins, and I love Juwan Jennings today for a touchdown. The three of them together is a plus 1450 at FanDuel. And that's where I'm at.
Plus 1450. So this will be part of the official record keeping into the parlay. Cool. Evans,
Absolutely.
Collins, Jennings at plus 1450 for our guy Kong's clips. Kong, I love it. I'm going to be in touch, man. I'm going to be in touch. Everybody digs hanging with you, running with you, your style and how you're capping and how you're getting paid and the selfless way that you're doing it. So thank you for what you brought to the community. And I will be in touch, my friend. And a great debut here on NFL Pop-Up. Go get that cash, Kong, my man. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, I love you guys, man. I'm getting so much support from everyone in the chat. Keep showing love. We're going to keep making money. I'm looking to go over 100 units documented in college football this season. We're sitting at 76 through 4 weeks. Plan on being there real soon. Love you guys. Let's keep getting money.
There he is, Kong's clips. What a great debut, man. God, this community that we are building together just keeps getting stronger and stronger and more fun to be a part of. And it's just so fucking cool, man. Let's review all action. Let's review all action here on our show. And I am going to be adding the Rams plus 6.5 here. I've decided to add that spot. I do think it's a bounce back situation. I know the 49ers have the Rams number, except, in that one huge NFC finals. So I expect them to be able to keep it close with all the injuries on either side. Let's review action. Bobano's on the over 43.5 in Bears Colts. He's on the over 49 in Eagles Saints. He's on the over 39.5 in Panthers Raiders, and he's on White over 57.5 rush yards. Lions money line minus 152 in the over 51 in Detroit, Arizona. Ravens minus 112. Jags plus 6 under 46, and Washington plus 7.5 and the over 46. He was the only guy who hammered those Monday nighters. Then Big Ragu came in, give us the under 35.5 in Chargers. Steelers give us the under 49.5 in Eagles Saints. Raiders team total over 23.5 at plus 105. Lions minus 3 at even money. And then Ragu hammered Mahomes props, which is very interesting as we'll be rocking together. Tonight. Mahomes over 269.5 pass yards. Mahomes over 36.5 pass attempts. Mahomes under a half interception, and Chris Jones sack. So very, very interesting stuff. Also Vikings plus 7.5 and the Bucks at a pick'em. That is his teaser here. Salty Pete, you're the man. Salty Pete from Harbor Acres Cottages, giving us the perfect week bonus. Let's see who gets the perfect week bonus this week. From Harbor Acres Cottages. I want it. I want the bonus this week. Let's review Marley's action. And what a great guy Marley is. I really, really respect the man. Under 36 in Chargers, Steelers. Steelers money line at minus 135. Saints minus 2.5. Bucks minus 6 at even money in the under 47.5. Under 47 at minus 114 in Houston, Minnesota. Ravens first half minus a half at plus 106. And again, he's been the single most consistent capper that I have tracked. The single most consistent capper. And he's only on his second season with us, but I sure love and respect what he's doing. Brizzy, Cooper, anytime touchdown plus 200. Barkley, anytime touchdown minus 143. Downs over 27.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Bucky, anytime touchdown at plus 260. White, anytime touchdown plus 125. Mason, anytime touchdown minus 163. And then he has St. Brown, anytime touchdown plus 110. And Flowers, anytime touchdown plus 125. Birdie had a bit of a different look. He knows how important it is to continue to succeed. And I was interested with how he was going to handle this card. He's on Steelers, Browns, moneyline parlay at plus 136. He's on Texans, Chiefs moneyline parlay at plus 209, and he's on the Texans moneyline minus 115. Then he is on the Hertz 50 or more rush yards at plus 145. Wine Time Sports gave us the over 44 in Bears Colts and the Bears plus 2. Give us a Ravens -1, the over 46, and Sam Darnold over 235 passing yards. Higgsy gave us the Colts money line, Bucks -6 at even money, Browns -6 at -111, the under 38.5 -114, Panthers plus 5.5 -107, Rams plus 6.5 -109, the under 44.5 -104 in Niners Rams. And Kong making his NFL pop-up debut. Collins over 75.5 receiving yards, 90 plus, 110 plus, and anytime touchdown. All over Nico. He's on Kamara over 67.5 rush yards. He's on Colts -1.5, -110. And his anytime touchdown parlay is Evans, Collins, and Jennings at plus 1450. There we go. That is our show for today. There was so much positive energy in the chat. You guys were gifting memberships and giving donos out and really supporting the channel. It means a ton to us. So truly, truly thank you guys. A shout out to Tom Leach, Al Cervic, Mug Dog, Big Daddy Boom, Lamont Williams, Cheshire Cat, Salty Pete, TJA, Yo, D, Manny 47 Loud, got the Eagles, Ravens, 2-leg parlay for him. Oldie, Cliff Yang, Wine Time. Thank you guys. Boogie Main, he's got Tampa Bay -5.5 and first half -3.5. Talk Sports with JT, Swizz, Donut Silks, NJ Striker, Redbeard, Saturated, Terry Walker, Mally Mal, Dust 10, Dougie Wise, Jojo Rabbit, Presidential Minded Kings. Thank you guys. Dave Redling, Brian Pacone, Sancho, Nordy, PG 00187, my dude, all of you guys. Dutch Boy Fresh. Thank you guys so much for your support. We truly have nothing without you. An enormous thank you to our producer, Jose Bouquet. I was gone all week and he held down the fort with aplomb, like just with ton of skill, and did such a great job. So thank you so much for that, Jose. And I didn't feel like I was, oh God, I got to go to work. I was rushing as fast as I could back here so I could cap with you guys, because this is what I want to do. This isn't work. This is much fun, and this is where I get so much of my joy in life, is capping with you guys. So I'm happy to be back in business. Catch us with the live stream tonight, because the Nuke Worker makes his NFL live debut here with us tonight. It's going to be dope to rock with the Nuke Worker, and I will be in touch with all you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Kickoff is in 3 minutes. Let's go out there and get the fucking money.